You don't want nobody to forget your kids. I know my family and their friends, our relatives, they're not going to forget them. But, it's just like when you hear of somebody getting shot a year before, you're not thinking about it the next year if it's not happened to you.
My name is Zanetta Henry. Um, I am from Waynesboro, Mississippi, originally. I am now located in Marietta, Georgia. Um, my son's name is Dre Charles Henry. Everybody knew him as Dre, who is sitting right back here behind me.
My name is Aaliyah Matthews. My kid's father's name is Stanford Henderson. My daughter and son were murdered in a triple homicide, Starland and Stanford Henderson, August 29th, 2017, on his birthday in Lithonia, Georgia, on par 4 in DeKalb County.
He is an outgoing, very free-spirited child. He's always been very free-spirited, very outgoing. He was the child that my husband and I always knew would never die of a heart attack because he was very laid back. He didn't worry about things. Just outgoing, very free spirit. He didn't care. He didn't put a lot of heart and care into worrying about things, what people said, what people thought. He lived.
My oldest, Stanford was my second, and Marcus was my last one. And they have their struggles just because they're finding their ground, and just like we had to do. Um, but at the same time, it wasn't like they weren't the type that always needed me to do this and do that for them. As hard as whatever they went through, they really tried to figure things out on their own.
He was born on May 4th, 1996. And even that moment was a moment that always let me know that he was different. That he was unique. And because as he was entering into the world, he kind of got stuck over here in the right, and they had to help him out. So even in that moment, we knew he was different.
Star was really good in school. She got good grades. Mino, it took him a little bit, but he finally, when he started buckling down, he had got really good in school. And Marcus, he was the one that would wait to the last minute to buckle down, but he would pull through at the last minute. But me and my kids, we would always talk about business. You know, we wanted to have businesses, or we would talk about our ideas and things like that. So
I always kept him very close to me. And the reason I felt that I had to keep him close is because he was the child that whatever came up, came out. And I was always afraid that people would not understand him and that somebody was going to mistreat him. And then that would have been a problem with me.
and my daughter she was the type that was suspicious of you. She had to know you, and she wasn't easy to impress right off the bat. So if she had a bad vibe, you knew it.
The only punishment that worked for him, that would help him to change and think about his actions, was to make him sit down and stay inside. So as he grew, that was who he became. He liked to go. He liked to do. He liked to enjoy life. He loved being with his friends. He loved being out and about and doing stuff and intermingling with people. He could walk up to a pine tree and make the pine tree talk to him. He could make the pine tree become his friend.
Talk to the parents about their concerns and the information and how to say certain things that they just can't talk about. You know, do it in the right way, because it leaves us with a bad taste in our mouth. It leaves us angry. It leaves us not trusting. And there's been plenty of times where I've actually wondered, are these people related to the police? Like, are the police protecting somebody? Because with my kid's case is so strange. It's so strange on so many different levels. I wouldn't have the time to even really just tell you, because it's just something out of a bad movie.
Is the fact that there's a human being that felt as if they had the right to totally rearrange not just one person's life, but an entire community. Because my baby was loved, is loved by so many, and he belonged to a tribe. He belonged to a community. But what I have here is this is just my small area where I do basically everything that I do when it's concerning him. This is a picture that I had put on a canvas. And this picture right here with the infinity sign, and that's the sign we pretty much adopted right after, because our love for him will never end. It will never stop. Our love will go on forever, and his love for us. And I had his name put in the bottom, and this was one of his, not so serious pictures, which he don't have many anyway, because he was always clowning and being silly. So I had this put on the canvas and having this sitting right here. This part was actually, this is a handkerchief that I have folded, and it has his name on it, that was created by one of our family members, close church member, friend. She handmade this for us afterwards and sent it to me. And this is actually, these are candy cigarettes. Where we live, there's like this, we call it the First Curb Market, but actually it's a corner store. And at that corner store, we have people that work and they knew him. in the town that we were in, basically everybody knew him. They either knew him, I mean, like in the stores or in any store almost that he constantly went in. There's a food place called Mississippi Fried. And Mississippi Fried, they knew him because he would constantly try to come in with no shoes and no shirt. He hated wearing shoes. He hated wearing clothes, period. Even in the wintertime, he was constantly wanting to run around with no shoes and no shirt on. Or either he'd have a shirt on and no shoes and shorts, even in the winter. But they knew him at the first, at the Kurt Market, because he would come in and he would buy those candy cigarettes. And that's what he would eat. He loved eating those candy cigarettes. So the girl that worked there after all of this happened, she told me, she inboxed me and said, Ms. Zanette, I have something for you. They had just ordered like a whole carton for him. And they were just sitting there because he would go in there and he would get them all the time. And so she brought them to me. So this is a pack that I brought to Georgia with me, but the rest is back in Mississippi at our house there. And this is a lantern that I had made. Another grieving mother who has a website. Well, she actually has a Facebook page, Cat Gray. When I say the most awesome lady, she does these, and she does them, and she works hard for grieving mothers, grieving parents. And she makes and she sells like the lanterns and things like that. So this is our lantern, and I'm yet to get the candle to have it constantly lit to go in the lantern. But she makes all kind of things like these. And if you can see my button, this is if I can get it in there. Just for our calls. And it says, I'm Dre's voice now. So the buttons and the lantern she made. And this is actually a Sweet Happy that we received from my sister and her daughters. And it's the willow tree. And it says, for always, now forever, I carry you in my heart.
You know, it's, you know, people, it's weird how even I thought that funerals was like the, you know, the last thing. Like after the funeral, people grieve, but it's the last thing. But, you know, picking out an outfit for your child, and I had to pick out two. I had to buy underwear, socks. And I didn't know that they dressed them as if they were dressing every day. They would wash them, put on deodorant, put their socks on. My daughter, they made sure she had a bra on and her panties and all of that. I didn't know that. And to go shopping for their stuff, you know, I dressed them in something that I thought that they would wear, you know, in the here and now. And but with my daughter, I had to get long sleeves because she was shot up and down her arms.
But he matters. Dre Charles Henry matters. He matters to his mama. He matters to his father. He matters to his sister. He matters to his daughter. He matters to his niece and his nephew. He matters to his grandparents. He matters to his aunts and his uncles. He matters to all of his friends, his cousins, people that and you couldn't meet him and he not leave a lasting impact on